Just when I thought that we were done getting updates around the club, they dropped some breaking news for us. And that is the extension of Raul Asencio. The last few days, the news cycle, it's been really good for Real Madrid. We got the confirmation that Trent will be leaving Liverpool. We're seeing all these other transfer updates. The Dean Huijsen, Zubamendi links. It seems like we're going to be in for a very big summer window. But one thing that I think we all knew was that the club were working on extensions for some of our players because we're not in the business of letting our star players leave for free. We all knew Raul Asencio's deal had to get done. Vinicius as well. Some other players are due some extensions. And I'm very happy to see that Asencio's deal has gotten taken care of. I think it's well-deserved. Raul Asencio is an absolute baller. And according to all the reports, he's extended his contract with Real Madrid until 2029. Now, I think people don't realize how special this player is. Like, unless you watch us on a week-to-week basis, you may not understand why Madrid fans love him so much. This guy has single-handedly saved our season. Once Militao tore his ACL, I thought that we were cooked. I'm not somebody that really watches the academy. I'm familiar with a few of the players who are in the youth system because they get talked about due to their big performances. But I feel like Raul Asencio was a guy that never really got spoken of that much. And the way that he burst onto the scene, the way that he immediately fit into our 11, you would have thought that this guy was playing for us for years. You would have thought that he's been a part of the first team. You would have thought that he was one of the leaders and one of the experienced players in our 11. Imagine if Asencio was not as good as he was. We would have been playing with Jesus Vallejo. David Alaba can't stay fit. And to be honest, Asencio's been our best defender this season. And it's not been close. I'm telling you this right now. I remember when all the injuries were going on, and I was super annoyed with the club for not going out there and signing defenders. I was annoyed when the January window came and we didn't bring in Sergio Ramos or we didn't go into the market and sign somebody else. But let me tell you something right now. Through all these injuries, we have unearthed a gem in Raul Asencio. This guy went from not being in the first team plans at the start of the season to now being an undisputed starter at Real Madrid and also forcing his way into the Spanish national team setup. This guy's rise has been historic. This is the Sergio Ramos regen. And even next season, in my opinion, Asencio needs to be a starter for us. Unless you're telling me that Real Madrid are about to sign Saliba, I don't see how Asencio is not in this starting 11. He's been thrown into some huge matches. Look at the performance that he had against Liverpool, against Atletico Madrid. This guy is a fantastic player. And I think that the potential that he's shown us is very promising. So I'm very happy with him getting an extension to stay at the club. What a baller. And I think the sky, that's not even the limit for him. I think this guy could be a player that can end up being a cornerstone for this Madrid back line for the next 8 to 10 years. I don't really see that many weaknesses in his game. He's aggressive. He has pace. He's good in 1v1 situations, slide tackles, aerially, he's good as well. He's a ball-playing center back. We all saw on this guy's debut the assist that he got for Jude Bellingham, the vision, the weight of pass, the ability to even see the run. Nah, man, look, Asencio, I am impressed. And I'm glad that the club were able to get this deal sorted, right? His contract was originally going to end in 2026, right? And to be honest, if it wasn't for all these injuries that we've had at the club, he might have not gotten a chance, right? Asencio could have been one of those kids from the academy who have a lot of potential, but then we end up selling them to another team in La Liga, or he goes somewhere else in Europe to prove himself. Because a lot of people, they only speak about Barca's academy, right? Real Madrid's academy is very good. We produce a lot of talent. But the thing is, we sell them, right? La Fabrica is one of the most profitable academies in the world. A lot of these players that you see in La Liga for these teams have come through us. A lot of our guys are across Europe as well. We have a very profitable business. But we all know that breaking through to the first team from the academy is a very hard thing to do, especially because Carlo Ancelotti does not really trust young players like that. And to be honest, even when Asencio first burst onto the scene and when he was dropping 8 out of 10s week in, week out, Carlo still would drop him in some games. He had to force his way into the 11. It's kind of similar to when Lunin last season, right? When Courtois went down, we brought in Kepa, and Kepa was okay for us. But when Lunin played, he was very good. And Carlo was still trying to force Kepa to be our number one. But Lunin was playing so well that Carlo had no choice but to start him. And you guys see how that paid out. That's basically the same thing that's happened with Asencio. Through all these injuries, we've unearthed a monster in that academy. A guy that I didn't really hear anybody talking about. All the talk was about Jacobo Raman, Jean Martinez, right? And I know Jean Martinez tore his ACL, and he's going to be coming back soon as well. Hopefully he gets the opportunity just like Asencio. But it seemed like nobody was really speaking about Raul Asencio like that. And I still feel like this guy does not get the respect that he deserves for what he's done so far this season. If Raul Asencio was from La Masia, if this guy's name was Raul Asencio, this guy would be getting posted everywhere. He would have already won a Golden Boy award, and he would have been on 433, and he would have been getting all this PR. But because he's from Madrid's academy, nobody wants to talk about it. But that's okay, though, because we all notice how fantastic that he's been so far this season, right? Now, according to the reports, they're saying that he will earn 6.2 million next season, and then his salary will increase, right? And they're saying that he could earn 9 million in his last season. So obviously he's going to have some bonuses in there, right? Maybe like clean sheets, trophies won, things like that. And I think this is a good pay rise for him, right? Obviously, being from the academy, he wasn't going to be on any crazy wages anyways. And now it's his first like big deal at the club, right? He's going to get a significant pay rise, but it's still within the club's structure, right? It's going to still be under 10 million. So that's good business from us. And then another piece of news that has come out with this is that Raul Asencio's release clause is now at 100 million. You guys know how things operate in Spain, right? We see all these huge release clauses that get added into deals, right? Like a few players are on €1 billion, right? Like Vinicius, Rodrigo, Jude, and Mbappe. I think a couple of Barca players got a 1 billion release clause. I think Asencio's release clause being at 100 million is fair. He's not worth that kind of money, right? No player is worth what their release clause is when it's like 1 billion or, well, let me not say no players, because if you had Mbappe, right, and if Mbappe's release clause was 100 million, he's definitely worth that. Same thing with like Vinicius or Yamal. But I'm talking about like when you see the release clauses in like the billion, right, like 1 billion euros, or for example, Asencio with 100 million euros. Asencio's not worth 100 M's. But the reason why this release clause is so important is because it's a way to protect the club. Because now, if we don't want to sell him, and if another team wants him, they have the option, but you're going to have to overpay for him, right? Asencio is probably worth, I'd say, like 40 to 50 M's based off the performances that we've seen from him this season. So, look, big deal. Big deal, chat. I want to know what you guys are saying about Raul Asencio extending his contract at the club. I'm a big fan of his, and I think that he will be starting for Real Madrid next season, unless, as I said earlier, we bring in a William Saliba or somebody that is such a high-profile player that Asencio might have to just be rotated into games next season. But I have all the confidence in the world. Like, when I now see a starting 11, if Asencio is not there, I want to crash out. It's problems. I think Rudiger, this season, his levels have dropped. David Alaba came back from his injury, and then he got injured again. In the games where Asensio's not started, we've not played well. We look shaky defensively. But Asencio on that back line gives us stability, chat. So, big deal, right? I mean, as I said to start off this video, the news that we've been getting lately has been phenomenal. Like, I'm super excited for what the club is going to be doing after this season's over, right? When the summer window opens up, I want to see how we're going to strengthen our back line, because we all know that the club needs to have a defensive revolution. And Raul Asencio is a part of the future that we are building at this club. Our center back options are not all that. Rudiger, 32 years old, right? Not getting any younger. David Alaba, also in his 30s, not getting any younger, and is always dealing with injury issues. Eder Militao, coming off of another ACL injury, back-to-back seasons where he's torn one of his ACLs. We need center backs, chat. And I think with the performances that he's been putting in, he is definitely a player that the club needed to keep. I know that, again, like I said, heading into this season, a contract extension for Asencio, I highly doubt was a priority for them. But after these performances that he's been putting in, and the fact that he's from our academy as well, you had to get that deal done ASAP. Next, Vinicius Jr. and a couple of the other guys. But this, huge news. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you're saying for Asencio signing his new contract at Real Madrid. He will be at the club until 2029. Do you like the deal? Do you like Asencio? Let me know what you're thinking. Also, join the Discord. The link is pinned in the comment section. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss anytime I drop a new video or I go live. Holla Madrid.